Welcome into another edition of Locked On Astros. Tonight we talk about Dana Brown's latest comments, what he says about the pitchers, how they are ready for spring training. Pitchers and catchers report today or tomorrow. Whenever you're listening, let's get going right now.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome into this edition of Locked On Astros. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You know where to find me at Htown Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Stros411. That's Stros with the Z on Instagram and Facebook, and at Back to the Bullpen on YouTube, on iHeartRadio, and pretty much anywhere you can get your podcast, where I'm always positive, always Stros. But look, before we get started, let's get back to this built for this intro because I love this hype video. Let's get ready, guys.
The stars are shifting, but the foundation we've built is rooted in defining the standard. Success doesn't come without trials. Calluses from the consistency. Our fans, they expect greatness. We demand it. The pressure doesn't break us. It sharpens us. For every early workout, every extra inning, for all 162. Reaching the pinnacle isn't luck. It's persistence through the storm. We know who we are and what we're after. You can try to shutter the Stros, but the window is always open. We are built for this.
Man, I just want to say thank you to Stephen Grande and the Houston Astros for allowing us to use that on our show. I had to show it again because baseball is here. Just make sure you make us your first listen every single day. Make Locked On MLB your second listen. And so, look, let's get into this. I know that we talked about Jose Altuve is going to be splitting time this spring between left and second. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put up the new background. That's what happens when you fly solo and your compadre is not able to make it, but that's okay. Eric actually will be solo tomorrow night. And then I am going to be guest appearing on a show called Midweek Athletes. They air it. I believe it's going to air from 8 to 8:30. So it should air right before Locked On Astros. You can check out Midweek Athletes on Instagram. If you follow Locked On Astros, you follow me, you'll see me. I'll be live in studio with them. They'll be over in the Heights. So I won't be able to make it home in time to be on the show with Eric. And thank you, Supreme Panda, for letting me know the old news from yesterday. Yes, I forgot to put up the new template. Y'all are the absolute best audience on the planet. But let's get right to it. I mean, Dana Brown came out with some thoughts going into spring training that I think are important. And I think it is stuff that we need to talk about. Some of it we have touched on a little bit, but I want to make sure we know where we are going into spring training. There are no new injuries to report among team pitchers and catchers. That's a good sign right there. No, hold on. There's something, I guess. Oh, well, maybe it was those wonderful pistachios I was having earlier. But Luis Garcia continues to throw off flat ground. They do not want to rush him. Lance McCullers Jr. is throwing off of a mound, so that's a good thing. But they are excited about where their pitchers are, okay? Dana Brown did say about any potential additions, it had to do with the pitching market. He said, I'm in the pitching market. You never know what's going to come up, but right now our roster is pretty good. I think we're pretty much in shape to be in position. to win the division. Now, despite what may be predicted by Fangraphs and the Rangers winning and the Mariners having second place and the Astros going third, I get it. We lost Tucker. More than likely, we're losing the other guy, Bregman. But at the end of the day, you added Isaac Paredes. You added Christian Walker. You still have Yordan Alvarez, who's coming and feeling really, really good. Yainer Diaz. You've got Jeremy Pena, who has really been working on his swing this offseason. And so I'm excited about that aspect of the game. But going into spring training, they were just really emphasizing the fact that they like who they have going in and competing for these different positions. Now, one of the things that we're going to see is Jose Altuve, and they want to see how he's going to fare. Basically, they're looking at Jose Altuve's development as a possible left fielder in 3 phases. Phase 1 was basically trying things out, was getting him off the ground, was not giving him booster shoes or rocket shoes. Like I mentioned, it wasn't trying to be disrespectful to our short king, but that wall is monstrous. And of course, nobody's robbing home runs in the Crawford boxes. But they said the next phase of Jose Altuve exploring the option of him playing left field, or how much he's out there, is how he deals with the wind, how he deals with the sun, how he deals with the various aspects, or I guess angles, the way he approaches a ball. How does he run one down? When he runs one down, what's the plan? Obviously, everyone's like, well, he would use the cutoff man like Jeremy Pena. Well, of course he would, because he doesn't really have that arm to make it to home. He'll do the old cutoff man like we always did growing up in Little League, correct? So these were Joe Espada's words specifically to Chandler Rome. It was an introduction, and he did well. He's having fun with it. Phase 2 is the elements. There's sun, there's wind. It's starting to become more real. So we'll introduce that to him in a couple weeks. And then phase 3 will be when we feel like he's ready to go into the field and onto the field in a game. You got the elements of base runners, throwing the ball, keeping double plays in order. We'll see how that goes. So clearly, the if that Eric was using last night was very appropriate, because they've got to look at all phases of this, and spring training is the perfect place to do that. Dana Brown likes where they are heading into spring training. He likes where their roster is. And there's a little update I need to give y'all on. We have been talking about Alex Bregman and what Dana Brown has said or hasn't said, right? And something, I guess I missed it in the collective bargaining agreement. I was wondering, radio hosts in Houston have been talking about this today, and others were talking about it as well. Chandler Rome mentioned it in his article. The collective bargaining agreement has an interesting clause or wording in it, and that a club cannot say that they are out on a free agent. And someone was asking one of the radio hosts this morning, well, why would they do that? Well, think about it. What if every team said they were out on a free agent? Then the market goes down and it hurts the player. So this is what I kind of paraphrase this a little bit, but basically what the collective bargaining agreement says for any club person is that the reason why he's used the word long shot is because the collective bargaining agreement prohibits Brown from publicly ruling his club out of any potential free agent. Hence the language he's adopted across the past 2 weeks. To quote Chandler Rome, Brown has previously called the reunion with Bregman a long shot. He's never said it's off the table. He's always said we're having internal discussions. They've said that, look, we're talking about it. And right here is basically some of this wording. So the reason why they haven't come out and said it explicitly is because they can't. And I didn't realize that was an actual deal. Somewhere along the way, I missed that. But right now, I want to talk to y'all about our friends at Wonderful Pistachios, and then we'll move on to our next segment. That's why Wonderful Pistachios are here. And if you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein. That's a lot of protein in 1 ounce serving, giving you over 10% your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I like the no-shell pistachios. I don't have to worry about cracking that shell and all that stuff, but some of y'all prefer that. They have both options. No shells are Wonderful Pistachios, just top seller. I guess it's what people want the most. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to put in the work, so they do that. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs the protein punch. And visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. I'm telling you, once my Wonderful Pistachios come in, I've ordered some. I will show you. They are excellent. They're good to eat. They'll keep you filled. And make sure you go check out Wonderful Pistachios today. All right, wow, we roll through this. I feel like things go by a lot faster when I do the show solo, and I don't know what it is about that, but I feel like when Eric and I are on here, time slows down. But when I'm on here, I look up at the clock, and I'm already at 15 minutes. Well, I'm at 11:44 right now. But, man, thank y'all for stopping by. I just want to make sure I recognize, and I'll try to get everybody. Alex, Supreme Panda, Trevor is back. Trevor, hope you've survived this winter up there in Buffalo. Garza is here. We also have Jay Roberts, a regular, and OG. Linda is here. Sarcastic Prodigy is here. Wow, the prodigious sarcastic one. Susan is here. Sanjay is here. And we've got so many more. Thank y'all for tuning in. Tiki, Storm Bum. I mean, everybody's here. Thank y'all so much. Eric is not here to bust my chops. That's right. That's probably why it goes by faster, because I've got to navigate through the minefield that is Eric Huysman. No, I'm joking. But on the pitchers, we're hearing that Rafael Montero had actually a really good winter. And one of the things that Montero was working on this winter was he was working on being more unpredictable in disadvantaged situations, heeding the organization's advice to throw his slider more and diversify his arsenal. This is from Joe Espada. When we talk, I think he's in a pretty good place talking about Rafael Montero. I think he understands where he's at, and he knows that we believe in him, and we know that he can be a guy that can really help us win games. So he understands what's at stake here, and he's going to come in and he's going to get after it. He will. So Joe Espada is putting his confidence in Rafael Montero, as they should. They're paying the guy $11 million. You want the guy to do all that he can. You want to get out of him all that you can. And so that's definitely something that you want the Houston Astros to make sure that they take care of. Because if you're going to pay this guy one more year of $11 million, he absolutely has got to contribute. Now, with that being said, I'll talk about some base running things here in a second about some of their ranks in the league, because their new third base coach really comes in to help that. And I'm excited about that. And I'll share a quote from Dana Brown on the third base coach and why him and Espada brought him in. But they released the top 100 list, and they've released 21 through 100. They have not listed. Actually, they just posted 11 through 20. There are no Astros on that one, but that is okay. The Houston Astros right here, 21 through 30, you have Jose Altuve. I would assume that Kyle Tucker will be top 15 at least, but Altuve is number 30. Your next Astro to hit this list, let's go 31 through 40. No Astros on that list. But we do have some Astros on 41 through 50. You have Christian Walker. Okay. Let me see. I really thought, yeah, well, Alex Bregman is number 37, but he is a free agent as noted on the list. And then you have 51 through 60. You don't have any Astros. 61 through 70. There are no Astros. Let's see, 71 through 80. Again, no Astros landing there. We have Isaac Paredes landing number 85. And I believe Christian Walker is going to be probably top 20, if I'm not mistaken. I have not seen him. I thought I saw him on here earlier. But the Astros have 5 or 6 players in the top 100 through number 20. And we'll see who else is added to that list. Christian Walker right there, number 48. So we've got several guys in the top 100. Jordan is towards the top. Jordan is probably in the top 10. He's the number 1 ranked left fielder. Apparently Jose Altuve is a left fielder. Jordan top 10 question mark. He better be top 10. Yes, 100% top 10. Look, I'm excited about this. I know we don't have Bregman. I know we don't have Tucker. And someone made a comment earlier on the channel and basically they were saying, you're crazy if you think the Astros are a better team without Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker, or just because Kyle Tucker was out and the Astros played good that they're a better team. Guys, I'll be real honest with you. I don't think we're a better team without those players, but I think we have the ability to be a very good team when they're not on the team or when they're slumping. And whether we like it or not, they are not going to be here. So they're no longer a part of the equation. I think this club still is set up to win the West. I don't care what FanGraph says. I don't care what computer models say. At the end of the day, what I care about is, are we going to execute on the field? And one of the things I'm not going to get into tonight too deeply, but I do want to discuss, is I saw an interesting stat that someone had posted on X, and it was a guy that went in and they basically ran models or stats on plate appearances in each position of the lineup, like position 1, position 2. And it was interesting because the conclusion the guy came to, here it is, batting order position, okay? It says why your best hitter should not bat third. And you know what? I'll go into this last. I'll go into this in our last segment because I want to talk about Mr. Our new third base coach, Perez Chica. Perez Chica is from the Arizona Diamondbacks. So third base coach, we know that we had Gary Pettis for a long time. All right. But this is what we saw last year. We were the 3rd worst base running team. The Astros, because of that, will now incorporate base running drills into their live batting practice sessions early in the spring. Joe Espada said we can do a better job base running. Guys ran into a few outs last year, and I think Joe's been really focused in talking about that. And that's what Brown has said. Now, he said, I kind of look forward to that part. I think base running is the one thing that defines the character of the player. So we're looking forward to seeing it with these guys. Because Joe Espada actually, we know, replaced Pettis with longtime Arizona Diamondbacks coach Tony Perez Chica, in part due to his base running background. Get this. If you're listening, you don't see this, Arizona finished last season with a 12.5 BSR, the 3rd highest mark. The Astros had the 9th lowest mark. They are going in opposite directions in a good way on the base paths, and that's something that I think is going to help produce offense. Thank y'all for tuning in to Locked On Astros. We'll talk more about this batting order position and some other things. Stay tuned. All right, once again, this is Locked On Astros, and I'm Htown Wheelhouse, your co-host of Locked On Astros. Eric the Man Huysman is not here right now. He will be back tomorrow. And so at the end of the day, no matter what happens, rain or shine, sleet or snow, we can say that now here in Southeast Texas, Eric and I, or Eric or I, will be on the mic. We are back to our 5-day-a-week show. We will be 5 days a week until the Astros march into the World Series Fall Classic, correct? So right now, the question's going to become, how do you shape this lineup? Like, who do you put in what position? And I know we've been having Yordan Alvarez bat second, but I found an argument for why you shouldn't bat Yordan Alvarez. Actually, I'm sorry. Third, okay? Maybe second is fine, but you should never bat your best hitter third, okay? They had the third position. Get this. The 3 spot in the lineup comes up with 2 outs and no runners on, far more than any spot in the lineup. So in 2023, this is kind of an old stat. Players that came up with 2 outs and no runners on, the first hitter in the lineup came up 2,592 times. The second hitter, 2,480 times. I'm sorry, that's where you put Yordan, or the next one, or even the fifth one. The third hitter saw 2 outs with no runners on, 4,630 plate appearances, meaning the guy in the 3 hole sees the least amount of opportunities to help add runs to the team. So let's keep Yordan out of the 3rd spot. I still like him in the 4th spot, but can you imagine Yordan, Walker, Diaz? I mean, this lineup is good 1 through 6, 7, 8, and 9. We leave a lot to be desired there. Yes, Jay, you know what? I believe Yainer will hit for more power. I've projected him to hit at least 25 home runs. I've got Yordan Alvarez hitting nearly 50, if I say around 48. I think Christian Walker easily can get to 40. I believe Paredes can get between 30 and 35. If you could get Jeremy Pena to 25 home runs, heck, 22 home runs, that would be key. If Chas McCormick, he can hit between 15 and 20 home runs. I just need Myers to hit 7 or 8. He can do that. Let's see who else. Dubon, we're not really going to count on him for much. Altuve, 25 to 28 home runs. You've got a chance here. And if we're going to steal more bases, someone says here, Chaz going to make the 2020 club. Yeah, we don't have the speed of Kyle Tucker, but we'll see what we can do on the base pass. We're going to have to produce more base stealing. We're going to have to defend base stealing a lot better than we have in the past, because that's also been something that we have lacked in. You're right, Trevor. We need Pena to ball out this year. And I really believe, look, I saw him practicing hardcore, his fundamentals on taking ground balls. I bet you he comes out swinging a hotter bat this year. And if those things happen, then I think you're going to see great results for the Astros. I do love this. Screwbo says I almost said the Padres. I almost say the Padres. Every time I see his name, I think Padres. He says Paredes is going to crush it at home with the Crawford boxes. He is a monster pool hitter. He is. He is a big-time pool hitter. Aaron says we need to take a step up this year if we are going to make a deep playoff run. We need Pena to step up. Oh, yeah. Pena, I believe, has his eyes set on having a big season. And we have other guys that are going to come in. DeCenzo could surprise people. There's much to say about a player who doesn't have a lot of expectations or low expectations. That means there's no pressure on them. There's really no pressure on Chaz. There's no pressure on Myers. I mean, think about it. Who's got on their bingo card Chaz going 2020, or who has on their bingo card Chaz hitting 25 to 30 home runs? Not many people. I mean, can he do it? 100% he can. But will he do it? We don't know. Just like Montero. Like, will he be the Rafael Montero from the 2022 season that was a key bullpen arm in that World Series run? He could be. Stormbum is asking me, who do I think the big breakout rookie is going to be this season? The big breakout rookie, man, that's a tall order. Let me think. The breakout rookie, it depends on who comes up, but it's probably going to be someone like an AJ Blueball, Colton Gordon. It could be Jacob Melton. It could be Bryce Matthews. It's gonna be one. It's gonna be 2 or 3 of your position players or 2 or 3 of your pitchers. Wow, thanks, Brett. Way to be specific. But seriously, Colton Gordon, AJ Blueball, Logan Van Wy is watch for him. And then you got the other guys I mentioned: Melton, Matthews, DeCenzo could really have like a breakout year. Whitcomb, no one's expecting him to do anything. There's no pressure on Shea. I don't know where he slots in there, but Forrest Whitley could have a breakout year. That's right. I mean, Forrest Whitley, I almost forget that I guess technically he's going to be a rookie, right? I don't think he's done his rookie patch yet. I don't know. Maybe he's done his debut patch, but I don't know that he's qualified as having a rookie season. Someone can help me out on that. Which Montero are you talking about? I'm talking about Rafael Montero, the guy that we signed to a 3-year, $33 million deal, the 5th highest paid relief pitcher the last 2 seasons in baseball, who has not been well lately. That is the Rafael Montero I am talking about. Yes, okay, Whitley is still a rookie. That's what I thought. He did debut, but he didn't achieve rookie status. There you go. So this is what Trevor's saying. Let's have the youth grow in the minor leagues. We need to see some improvements from Melton and Matthews. Look, Matthews' biggest issue, I think, is his contact, lowering the strikeouts. I don't think his fielding ability is at all in question. It's more his offense. And then you have some others. Oh, that's right. He did pitch 2 innings. Going back to Whitley. Whitley did pitch 2 innings. That's why he did. That's right. He did advertise his debut patch. And hopefully we'll be getting him on the show at some point this year. I look forward to getting Sean Dubin in, getting Forrest Whitley on, and maybe we get Yanner Diaz back. Got to see him a couple weeks ago. But if y'all have any questions for me before we wrap things up, is Bennett Salza still rostered? Trevor, if you could look for me, if he's still on the roster, I don't have that graphic with me to have all the names that are going to spring training or on the roster. If you want to grab that for me, I would appreciate it because I don't have the ability to do that flying solo here tonight. But look, exercise patience this year with the Houston Astros. Okay, Salza is still on the roster. Chazzy B said, I just didn't want to misstate it. I thought he was, but I wasn't 100%. This team is going to achieve success that I think people won't expect. This team is going to hit road bumps that we don't see right now. I mean, go back to the season where we had all the pitchers go down with the health issues. Nobody saw that. The season that Jose Altuve had the hand injury, all these different things that happened at the beginning of the year. You don't know what's going to happen between now and 3 weeks from now. You don't know where the Astros are going to be and who they're going to grab at the trade deadline. And so there are a lot of avenues this team could go down. Number one, the division is clearly in sight. Number two, the Mariners, I'm sorry, they just haven't done anything to wow me in this offseason. And I think it's us and the Rangers. If somebody else comes up and catches us and it's a 3-legged race, it's a 3-man race, I don't know who that would be. I guess it would be the Mariners. It could be the Athletics. It could be the Sacramento A's or whatever you want to call them, But the bottom line is this. Brett, do you feel the Astros will end with 90 or 92 wins? Why don't you ask me at the All-Star break? I think this team can win 90 games. I think they can win 92 games. But I think 92 might be the max. I think more an 88 to 89 win season is more likely. but this team can do that. This last year, there were several games they could have won. They were that close. There were a lot of close games. They should have won. They shouldn't have got swept in the opening series, and I don't think they're going to do that this year. I really, really don't. But what's cool is on opening day, Juan Soto and the Mets are coming to town. Ryan Stanek, our old friend of Locked On Astros, will be on that side as well. It'll be a fun game. It'll be a fun opening series. A couple things I want y'all to be looking out for and watching for, because I haven't made any official announcements yet because I don't have all of the details ironed out. But it looks like right now we have a tentative opening day live Locked On Astros / Back to the Bullpen event at the West End downtown. I've got to make sure that gets nailed down. If it doesn't, I'll let you know whether it's thumbs up or thumbs down. Also, I'll be talking to the Astros in the next couple of weeks and finding out a date for us to book for tickets for a group event. So be listening for that, and just be listening because we may be doing some live events around town if we can get in some places. I'll take one question real quick. We're right at the 32 mark. Hello, Rafi. How you doing? Look at this. I got an old friend. This is pretty cool. This is an old friend of mine from back in the day, like 6th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. I mean, back in the day. And she showed up. I told her about the show. I was like, you got to show up and watch the show. Supreme Panda, go ahead and ask me your question. I'll try to answer within 10 or 15 seconds if you can ask it before. But thank you for stopping by, Rafi. It's great to see you on here. But look, no pitchers injuries so far, like Susan says, equals a better start in 2024, which is much better. Trevor says you should get Scott Boras on Locked On. Dude, if I could get Scotty B on here, I would totally call him Scotty B too. I wouldn't call him Scott Boras. I'd be like, what's up, Scotty B? I actually want to ask him to be my agent. And I'll tell him, dude, I'll give you, if you sign me to a $2.1 million deal with the station, I'll give you 70%. I just need 30 of that. I don't need millions. I just need about a 6-figure income, to pad me a little bit, get an umpire on the show too. All right, guys, what are we doing here? I cannot get those on here. Anyways, yeah. So look, at the end of the day, y'all know that we bring the best guest. We'll have Robert Flores back on. I'll try to get Ben Verlander back on, but you guys and girls make this show number one. You are the reason why. Absolutely not. We will never get Angel Hernandez. Sorry. That would be funny. Get Rob Manfred on. Okay. Y'all are killing me with the request, but if I can get any of those, I will credit the people who asked to get them on. So for myself and everybody here at Locked On Astros, this has been another wonderful show. We are back to 5 days a week. Baseball is in the air. Love is in the air. And it's Valentine's Day this week. So make sure that you find that special someone and you tell them how much you love that they're in your life. You know what? You're our show Valentines, okay? Thank y'all so much. We love y'all. And Eric will be back tomorrow night with a solo edition while I go on with the midweek athletes on Instagram. So be looking for me on Instagram to go live. I believe they have a YouTube channel as well. Check me out there. I'll be live in studio with them in the Heights in Houston. And as always, go Stros.
The stars are shifting, but the foundation we've built is rooted in defining the standard. Success doesn't come without trials, calluses from the consistency. Our fans, they expect greatness. We demand it. The pressure doesn't break us, it sharpens us. For every early workout, every extra inning, for all 162. Reaching the pinnacle isn't luck, it's persistence through the storm. shutter the Stros. But the window is always open. We are built for this.